Good afternoon. Welcome to Current Affairs. So today let's discuss certain issues. Like the first one, I'll show you after some time. So we are going to have a new Navy chief. As of now, it is R.K. Dhawan, Robin K. Dhawan, and very soon, that is from May 31st onwards, it will be the present Vice Admiral Sunil Lamba. So he is going to become the Navy chief, so Navy Admiral. I'll show this point after some time. But otherwise, so we are going to discuss two more important issues today. One issue is related to the educational qualifications of our politicians. And with respect to any government job, rather, I'm talking about government employees. So obviously, you require certain educational qualifications. So you need to submit it, write the examination, and undergo some procedure, and you'll be becoming the government authority for any government position. So this is the procedure. But when it comes to politics in India, unfortunately, the educational qualifications are not prescribed by the constitution, nor in the Representation of People's Act also it was not mentioned. That is the reason why the basic idea in the beginning is that the politicians, if they have the will to work for the welfare of the people, that will be enough. But when it comes to the government employees, they should have the knowledge for the execution. So that, and of course, there was a concept called this equality before law, whether a person is educated or not educated, let them get into the politics. So those ideas were there. And when the constitution came into force, the levels of education was so low, literacy rate was so low. But over a period of time, drastically, so we started increasing it. And after a period of time, there was a demand that why the politicians should not have the qualifications, educational qualifications. And even today also that is not prescribed. Meaning is simple, if the politicians will have the heart to work for the welfare of the people, that would be more than enough. But the pathetic situation is that when somebody claims that he has a degree or post-graduation without having them in reality is considered to be really pathetic. If he mentions that he has no educational qualification, then also he is permitted to contest in the elections and he can become the representative, one of the representatives of the people. But especially when it comes to the people who are there at the higher level in the political scenario, if they contest and if they win the elections, and if they are prominent people, that particular issue is becoming more prominent. So we have seen the situation with respect to, of course, so many people are there. We have seen the situation with respect to HRD Minister Ms. Smriti Irani. We have seen this. So there was a row. And now it is with respect to the Prime Minister of India itself. I am talking about Mr. Narendra Modi, Honorable Prime Minister of India. Right, somebody claims, right, so this Arvind Kejriwal is claiming, alleging rather, not claiming, he is alleging that, so these degrees are not real degrees. So he did not take any degree. And whatever the name that has been revealed by Gujarat University, so that Narendra Modi is somebody else, not this particular Narendra Modi, and he started presenting certain witnesses. What exactly is the truth, a common man cannot know. So, but the problem is that when the Central Information Commission has directed the university to reveal the information, educational information with respect to the Prime Minister, obviously it has to be accepted, of course, whether the government likes it or not. Most of the people in the country likes, this, the Prime Minister, there's no doubt about this. Maybe because of his speech, maybe because of his dynamism, maybe because of his new ideas, and ventures new schemes, right? So they're definitely a laudable person. But when certain allegations comes to the picture, the respect for the prime minister will increase by thousand times if he himself comes out and if he presents himself saying that these are the degrees, this is my graduation, this is my post graduation, so here are the proofs, so that can be verified. So when it can be done for the common people, why can't be for the prime minister? So that is the reason why. So this is a matter where it can be, otherwise what will happen? So this controversy will continue for a period of time. Hopefully the degrees that are possessed by the prime minister are considered to be real, and people will be happy, provided the prime minister, if he himself takes initiative, because there is an allegation. So this is the responsibility of the prime minister to clear up all these things, and he has to prove that these allegations are wrong. In reality, if say for example, if these allegations are not, if these allegations are real, then what happens? So this is a matter of serious concern. So this is nothing but, so you lied with the people, and a common man or the people in the country, because our awareness is increasing, knowledge in the society is also increasing, people are definitely interested to know what exactly is the fact. So that is the reason why it is not just for the prime minister. Let it be any person. Let it be any person. If certain allegations are coming into picture, it has to be the responsibility of the concerned person to clear them off. Clear? So this is the point number one. So number two, the second point I would like to talk to you with respect to what is going to happen in Uttarakhand. You know the whole story of Uttarakhand. Again, it came back into the news because of the Supreme Court. The Honorable Supreme Court of India has asked the opinion of the government with respect to going for the floor test. What do you mean by floor test? Floor is nothing but, here in this case, this is the assembly. In the assembly, decide who has the majority. Decide who has the majority. And Supreme Court asked for the opinion of the central government, and the central government luckily responded in a positive manner. In a positive manner, and it is ready for, central government said that we are ready for going for the floor test. That is the reason why Supreme Court has directed that on May 10th, this floor test has to be conducted. But how exactly is going to be conducted here? So during our Indian polity classes, I was explaining you certain things like this. Excuse me. Certain things like this. Any political party which has the majority in the assembly will claim to form the government. Once the governor is satisfied, then that particular party will be allowed to form the government, and one person will become the chief minister and few other people will become the minister. This is the whole story, you know this. And sometimes what will happen, over a period of time, after a period of time, the government, the party that is there in the power may lose the majority. As long as there is a majority, there is no problem. But sometimes there may be a situation because of the defections or any other reason, there may be a controversy where some people are demanding that the government should resign because you don't have the majority. But then how do you prove it? Again, it has to be proved on the floor of the assembly. Previously, it used to be decided in the Raj Bhavan, but Supreme Court made it very, very clear that assembly is the platform where you need to prove the majority. Then obviously what happens? You need to give a chance to the existing government to prove the majority. If the opposition party is strong, they will introduce a motion called no confidence motion. No confidence motion means, what do you mean by confidence? Just now I told you, if a party has the majority, it will be allowed to form the government. and that party will continue in the power as long as it enjoys the majority. Meaning, as long as the political party has the confidence of the house, confidence means majority, so then you are permitted to continue in the government. The moment you lose the majority, the moment you lose the confidence, then the government has to resign, chief minister has to resign. For this reason, opposition party will introduce certain things called no confidence motion. Meaning, opposition parties, they have decided to prove that the existing government has no confidence, no majority. And if that opposition party is able to get the majority, if no confidence motion gets the majority, that's a clear indication that the government has lost the majority and the chief minister has to resign. So this is the procedure generally. So but in this particular case, what is happening is that the attorney general of India, argued in the Supreme Court yesterday that there should be a floor test where two groups should prove whether they have the majority or not. So meaning, obviously it is a BJP versus Congress party in Uttarakhand. Then immediately Supreme Court said no. This should be basically a confidence motion. Meaning, on the given date, on May 10, the government of the day, in the sense, as of now, there is no government. But for a particular, on that particular day, for a period of 2 hours, president's rule has been revoked. Right? It is going to be revoked only for 2 hours. Morning 11 to afternoon 1 o'clock, this is going to be revoked. So during that time, the president rule is revoked and the governor will be holding all the responsibilities. So during the time, in the assembly, the confidence motion will be introduced by Harish Rawat, the chief minister. He is going to introduce it. Confidence motion I am talking about. Confidence means majority. Meaning, Harish Rawat has been given a chance to prove his majority in the assembly. So this is a very, very fair deal. It has to be done, in fact. Had it been allowed by the central government previously, they would have said okay. So hope right. Nicely, the power is getting fluctuated. It's okay. So now, so during this particular time, the permission. In fact, I was telling you, it's yesterday there was a huge rain and lots of great wind in Hyderabad. So many trees have been this uprooted very badly. So there was a huge loss to the property, and there was so much of inconvenience for the people in Hyderabad yesterday. And there was no power in majority of the areas. And that is one reason why we could not have our session yesterday again. So the situation is still continuing. Now, so when it comes to this Uttarakhand, what is going to happen? On May 10th, Supreme Court has given the permission. Attorney General has asked for keeping one observer. So keeping one observer in the assembly, and that person should be the former chief election commissioner. And Supreme Court said no for this, and everything has to be video recorded, and that has to be presented to the Supreme Court on May 11th. So on this particular day, chance has been given to Mr. Harish Rawat to prove his majority, meaning he is going to introduce the confidence motion. Kindly remember, confidence motion is always introduced by the government, meaning government wants to prove again that it has a majority. Now what happens? Exactly at 1 o'clock, before 1 o'clock only, the whole procedure has to be done. Supreme Court has given the clear-cut guidelines. There should be no pressure on anyone. The members in the assembly should be permitted to sit in two different places, like all the people who are supporting Harish Rawat on one side, all the people who are supporting this Congress party on the other side. So like this has been decided, and hopefully everything is going to be accepted, and it's already accepted, followed by the central government. And on that particular day, we'll come to know what exactly is the result. If Harish Rawat gets a majority, then he will be reinstated as a chief minister and he'll be continued. If he loses the majority, then what is going to happen? So we have to wait and watch. Okay, again, the Supreme Court will say certain things. Maybe BJP may be allowed to form the government if it has the majority. Harish Rawat does not have the majority, means on the other side, BJP will have the majority. But I told you already, 9 MLAs have already been disqualified. Supreme Court made it very, very clear. If they are disqualified, they should not be permitted to vote in the confidence motion. So they will not be permitted. But they have challenged the decision of the speaker in the Uttarakhand High Court. And that particular case is impending with the Uttarakhand High Court. And Supreme Court said that if the High Court permits them to vote, they may vote. But we are not going to decide anything on them. So this is what is going to happen. So we have to wait and watch again. So now what I'll do is that I'll open the document and I'll show you the document now. Please have a look at this. So the first information what we have with us is we have the new Navy Chief. So the present Navy Chief is R.K. Dovan. Kindly remember this. So Vice Admiral Sunil Lamba, who is the Flag Officer Commanding in Chief of Western Naval Command, has been appointed as the new Chief of Naval Staffing. And he is going to assume the charge on May 31st, 2016. Kindly remember, in any examination, this may be a question. Once the replacement has been done, so it will be always a question. So the present gentleman is R.K. Dovan, and it is going to be Sunil Lamba. Please remember this. I told you already, and I want you to think on this. So why the politicians don't make their degrees public even after allegations? At least even allegations are there. So please clear them off. Floor test in Uttarakhand. This is what I was talking to you. The Supreme Court fixed May 10th as the date for the floor test to ascertain if ousted Uttarakhand Chief Minister Harish Rawat enjoys majority support in the state's assembly or not. For 2 hours, the president's rule is revoked on that particular day on May 10th. The apex court, however, also added that the 9 Congress MLAs who were disqualified by the assembly speaker would not be allowed to vote in the floor test unless permission is granted by the state high court. Appearing on behalf of the Center Attorney General, kindly remember the name. The name is always important. Mukul Rohatgi. I told you so many times. He informed the Supreme Court that the center is ready for a floor test and asked the apex court to appoint a retired chief election commission as an observer, but the court said no. Attorney General said that it should be a test for strength between two political alliances in the assembly, but court said no. Supreme Court clarified that there should be no composite floor test. Composite floor test means either you or me. No. Only ousted Chief Minister Harish Rawat would seek vote of confidence in the state assembly. Meaning is simple. It is not a no confidence motion. This is the confidence motion. Clear? Very, very important. So now we have to wait and watch what is going to happen on that particular day in Uttarakhand assembly. Since you know the complete story of Uttarakhand, please follow this very, very clearly and carefully. Fine, something new has to come out where the central government has to stop misusing Article 356. Right? Kindly see here, for any issue, there will be arguments and counter arguments. So there will be advantages and disadvantages. And I want you to think on both the lines, both the positive things and also the negative things, and see that you will be pushing yourself more towards the advantageous, positive points. Is it okay? Now, I'm opening the document once again. I have some more information with me. I'll show that to you. Now, see here I am talking something about the Chief Justice of Uttarakhand High Court. It is Justice K.M. Joseph. And we understood last month that when the President's rule has been imposed in Uttarakhand, when it has been challenged before the Honorable High Court of Uttarakhand by the ousted Chief Minister, Mr. Harish Rawat, the court took the side of Mr. Harish Rawat. And for the first time, a High Court has quashed the President's rule. Meaning it revoked the President's rule and it ordered for the reinstatement of the government headed by Harish Rawat. So on that particular day, I told you already, Harish Rawat also conducted a cabinet meeting. But the very next day, the BJP has challenged the same thing before the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court has stayed the order of the High Court, meaning the President's rule has started continuing. Is it okay? And later what happened, this yesterday also I was telling you, day before yesterday, that some new judges have been appointed to the so-called Supreme Court. At the same time, few judges have been transferred as recommended by the so-called the collegium. And one of the judges who was transferred was, as recommended by the Supreme Court collegium, was Justice K.M. Joseph. The Chief Justice of Uttarakhand, who gave the order for quashing the President's rule in Uttarakhand, has been transferred to Hyderabad High Court. That is a common High Court for Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. He has been transferred. So now this particular incident has led to lots of criticism. So when some judges take the side and when they take certain things very seriously and pronounce certain judgments with lots of honesty, is this the reward that you are giving to them? Why should he be transferred from one place to the other place at this stage when he has given such a fantastic judgment during that time? That is the reason why it became a very, 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 very big talk now in the political circles and also the judiciary circles. So many prominent people in the judiciary, they also criticized the act. How come this gentleman will be transferred at this stage? Is that okay? So that also I'll show you the information now. Please have a look at this. This is Justice K.M. Joseph. He is now the Chief Justice for Hyderabad High Court. And in the sense, this is the collegium recommended for the transfer of Uttarakhand High Court Chief Justice K.M. Joseph, who recently delivered the strongly worded judgment quashing president's rule in the state to the High Court of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. So this news of his transfer evoked a strong reaction in legal and other circles, questioning the collegium's move. And I want you to think even on this line. Okay. So another information what I have with me is the concept called merger. What do you mean by this? See here, this is happening even at the central level and also at the state level. What is merger? So in a democracy, so we have the elections. So for assembly, we go for the elections and we vote for a particular candidate who belongs to some political party or he is an independent candidate. But nowadays, the situations are changing so rapidly. In fact, it was present even in the beginning also. But nowadays, they are getting allured by the offers that are being given by the ruling parties. That is the reason why some of the members, even after election, after getting elected, on behalf of a particular political party, they are shifting their loyalties. Basically, what happens is that if a person is elected on behalf of the Congress party, he is expected to continue with the Congress party at least for a period of 5 years. Because the term of the assembly, term of the Lok Sabha is 5 years. And after that, if you want to shift the loyalties and join some other political party, that's up to you. But in India, so we enjoy too much of democracy. Too much of democracy. Some people will get elected on one political party and after that they shift their loyalties to some other political party. So this has become a very common phenomenon in the country. That's the reason why in the year 1985, through the 52nd amendment, through the 52nd constitutional amendment, 10th schedule has been inserted into the constitution. It has been added to the constitution and that talks about the anti-defection law. Defection means jumping from one political party to the other political party. Anti means no. If anybody jumps like that, that particular person will be disqualified under the anti-defection law. If you want more information, I already dealt with this under anti-defection law in our polity classes. Please read that. Please watch that video again. Right? But let me come to the point straight away. So that particular anti-defection law disqualifies the members who joins from one political party to the other political party after the election. Before the election, you join anywhere, nobody will bother. But after getting elected, if you shift the loyalty, that particular person or persons will be disqualified under the anti-defection law. There were two concepts which are exempted. One is the split, second one is the merger. Split has been removed, it's no more available. But when it comes to the merger in the sense, from a political party, if at least 2/3 of the members express their interest to join some other political party after the election, this particular group will be permitted to merge or join some other political party without getting disqualified. Hope you are getting this. Imagine there are 10 members from a political party. And after the elections are over, if one person wants to join some political party, he may be disqualified because the decision will be taken by the speakers. Speaker has the power to take a decision. But what happens is that out of these 10, if 2/3 members decided to go and join some other political party, that is called merger, and merger is very much permitted by the constitution under the 10th schedules. Hope you are getting this. So meaning this is what is happening in some of the states. If you look at some states like Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, this is happening so rapidly. Especially in Telangana, after the elections are over for the first time in a new state called Telangana in the year 2014, TRS, the party which fought for separation of the state and which got the statehood, which got a separate state called Telangana, it came to the power, Mr. K. Chandrasekhar Rao became the chief minister. And immediately after that, during the time, you must be knowing this party, Bahujan Samajwadi Party, headed by Mayawati, Uttar Pradesh, if you remember. That political party contested in Telangana and they got two seats in assembly. But immediately after the election, what happened? These two members have decided to join TRS party. How many members are there? Two members. You require at least two-thirds. But here 100%, meaning two members, both of them, they want to join TRS party and they joined the TRS party, meaning the members of the BSP have been merged into the TRS. That is the reason why they were not disqualified. Very recently, what happened? There is another political party called Telugu Desam Party, which is ruling in Andhra Pradesh. In Telangana, the MLAs who got elected on behalf of Telugu Desam Party, some of the members, they have expressed their interest to get merged with the Telangana Rashtra Samiti, the ruling party. Merging is done. Speaker said yes, over, finish. Once the speaker says yes, it is done. That's it. Of course, that is subjected to judicial review. That's a different thing. And very recently, there is another party in Telangana that is called YSRCP. That political party also got merged with the so-called, meaning the members. They merged with the TRS party and that party is also gone. So meaning in a critical point of view, if you think like this, how come a member should be permitted to join some other political party after election? Because you went to the people on the name of some other political party. People voted to you by looking at some other political party and not the ruling party. That is the reason why there is a necessity for revisiting the concept of the merger also. Obviously, if people from one political party, they are going and joining some other political party, this political party is the beneficiary. You are gaining something. But what about the other political party? You are losing its strength. So that, but unfortunately, what is happening? The parties that are there in the power, they are encouraging for these mergers. It's a very, very, very dangerous phenomenon. That is the reason why constitutional experts will always say that these dangerous phenomena should be stopped at the earliest. That is the reason what should be done. Again, the constitution has to be amended. Who will do this? Again, that will be done by the parliamentarians. And these are the parliamentarians, these are the assembly members who are shifting the loyalties. Meaning, there is no faith in the democracy, there is no respect for the democracy for these people who are shifting the loyalties. That is right. Meaning is simple. I am not saying that if you don't like the political party, why should you stay with the political party? You should not. But because you get elected, you got elected on the name of that particular party, it is better for you to submit the resignation and come out. Submit the resignation letter, the position will become vacant, election will be conducted within 6 months, again go to the political party, again go to the people and seek for the election, seek for the votes. If the people will trust you again they will vote you. So this is what is expected. But majority of the people who are shifting their loyalties, they are scared to go to the people because they are not very, very sure whether they will be voted back to the power or not. That is the reason why whatever the procedures that are available, though that is against the democracy, they are still doing this. Is that okay? Since in most of the cases we see the speaker also belong to the ruling party, if somebody is coming and joining the ruling party, speaker is not taking action against them because the speaker also belongs to that party. Right? This is what is happening. Certain serious issues are happening. Of course, here these are all the points that you need to ponder over. You have to think. Right? The more you think, the more analytical you become. The more analytical you become, your answer will be so good answer as far as the exam is concerned. So then obviously, Nobody can stop you in getting the good marks. Right? Nice. Right. So I'm going further. Merger, this is what is happening in Telangana. Just now I told you. Three parties, Bahujan Samajwadi Party, Telugu Desam Party, YSRCP. These are the members who got merged into the ruling party. Here, I have certain things called think. This is the statement that is given by Justice Madan Lokar. He is one of the judges in the Supreme Court. He said that think you have to think on this. The criminal justice system has huge problems and needs both procedural and substantive reforms, as poor clients lack faith in legal aid lawyers. Okay, you have to think on this one. So according to him, so there are certain problems. They are both procedural and substantive. Okay, and the clients lack the faith in the legal system and also on the lawyers. Okay, so please think on this. Now, so I have a question here. Please look at the question. Which of the following high courts in India upheld the decision of the state government for banning the cow slaughter? Did you remember this? I have discussed this one with you. It was done by Maharashtra government. Okay. And Bombay High Court has upheld the decision of the so-called government. You see, the government can take a decision, and Maharashtra government took a decision for banning the cow slaughters. So eating the beef, possessing the beef is considered to be crime under the new law. When it has been challenged before the Bombay High Court has given a judgment saying that the decision taken by the government for banning the cow slaughter is upheld, meaning cow slaughter is not permitted. But importing the beef, possessing the beef is not a crime. So because in the opinion of I am talking about the Bombay High Court opinion. In the opinion of the court, because of the cultures, because of the various cultures that are present, you cannot impose. Okay, so obviously, if somebody is possessing, somebody is importing, somebody is eating, that should not be a crime. But cow slaughter in Maharashtra is a crime. Is it okay? So these are the points for today, and I'll take leave of you now, Saturday, and enjoy the weekend. I'll see you with more news on Monday. Till then, I wish you all the very, very best. Take very good care of yourself. Thank you so much for being with me this Saturday afternoon. Good luck.